This is 1 mana left. And we're about 2.5 weeks into patch 0.3. I am playing an Amazon Lightning Arrow character. And admittedly, this league, I haven't really hyped the character that much because, well, 0.2 was really bad. So I wasn't even sure how long I'd be playing this league. So I didn't want to, like, get people a little too hyped and then, you know, go play Last Epoch or something after a week again. But as it turns out, 0.3 has been really good. So I'm still playing. I'm still having fun. And I've kind of got a little bit of catch-up to do on hyping the build, because what I'm playing right now, I've been thinking about it, I've been watching other things, I do confidently think is the strongest endgame build in 0.3. If you disagree with that statement, understand that I value strength as a combination of 3 things: speed, damage, and defense. There are builds right now in this league that can beat me in 1 out of those 3 things, for sure. I don't think there's a build that can beat me in 2 out of 3. So if you are pissed off by that statement and you disagree with it, well, I got a proposition for you then, because just go ahead, do whatever content you want on your build, and if you die in a map to just whatever content you're doing, Abyss Overrun, Union of Souls, 150, whatever you do, if your build can't do it and you think your build's stronger than mine, next time you die, give me a call and I'll come finish the map for you. Because this character feels stronger than whatever's out there, than Zenith did. I haven't really had an opportunity to hype it. The way I'm going to show this off, I'm going to start off, I'm in Simulacrum 4 right now. Now, Simulacrum 4 is widely considered the hardest content in the game. I think most people would think that. I tend to agree with it, except for like extreme outliers like Abysses get harder, 150 deli, stuff like that, like some meme stuff that you could make. But in terms of like the core game, Simulacrum 4 is generally considered the hardest. So I know you're thinking, well, you're just going to show yourself doing Simulacrum 4? That's weak. My build could do that a week ago, 2 weeks ago, whatever. Yeah, that's true. However, I am not going to be fighting back. This is still a lightning arrow build. I'm on an Amazon. I still run around on my row at like plus 100 move speed, and I shoot and blow up the whole screen. It's very much a lightning arrow build. But we're going to show off some defense here. This is my build. I'm going to do the rest of this intro and the rest of this explanation. On this wave of Simulacrum, it is guaranteed to have 2 bosses. Guaranteed. Waves 13, 14, and 15 always spawn 2 bosses. So, we're going to... Oh, there they are. There's Kosis. There's Omniphobia. And this is my lightning arrow build. Oh no, we got bleed. We got bleed. Can I beat the bleed? The bleed's the tricky one. I think we can beat the bleed. Omni has like a 5% chance to bleed that goes around energy shield. I think we can beat it. Oh, we got another bleed. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, this might be an Omen proc. Do I get it this time? We're coming back. There's an Omen. Okay. Come on. Come on. Come on. Win. I'm currently fighting back with Wind Dancer proc and Herald of Thunder. That's it. Alright, we're at like the 1 minute mark. So, I can kill all the trash monsters here, but the bosses are at like 90% HP, and I won't outdamage Kosis' energy shield. So, I don't think they're going to succeed in killing me, but for me to kill them, it would take like, I don't know, straight up 10 minutes. And I don't think I'd ever kill Kosis, so... I think we won the AFK challenge, but I'll save you guys some time here, because I still am a lightning arrow build. Oh, where'd Kosis go? Oh. So that is the hardest content without some extreme outlier stuff in Path of Exile. And I can AFK it. So it's pretty much impossible for my build to die. Now, obviously, I'm still allowed to fight back, because I'm still playing a lightning arrow build. And I think it's a pretty undisputed fact that, well, okay, lightning arrow, lightning rod is one of the strongest combos in the league right now. There's things that are faster on raw clear speed, like whirling slash. I've seen is probably faster clear speed. That'd be like the 10 on the scale. Like Deadeye lightning arrow would be like a 9. My build's probably like an 8.5 because I have 10% reduced move speed from Tailwind. That's the only key difference. But my setup has 400 proj speed. And that's an easy to underestimate thing on like clear speed is the 400 proj speed. But yeah, there's my Sim 4 book. But I have a pretty tanky build. So I'm going to show it off too on a map where I can fight back a little more. I made a tier 16, I got a citadel, and I'm going to show off a citadel map. But first, I'm going to talk about how the build works. So I think I should be at my citadel here. Yep, alright, I got a stone citadel, Doriani, boss, delirium, whatever. And I'm going to do a tier 16 map on him. So how does the build work? Well, I'm an Amazon. Oh, also, one distraction here. I'd made some statements a couple days ago that I can probably AFK anything, including Sim 4. But I'd said that I don't think I can tank the Arbiter meteor. And then today I was starting to think to myself, that sounds like quitter talk. And Mama didn't raise no quitter. So this was me earlier on some Arbiter testing. I can indeed tank the meteor. It's 80,000 fire damage, and I can survive it.
Lance is cooked. Lance is cooked. Oh, Lance is cooked. I'm winning. I'm gonna live all 7. I'm gonna live all 7. I'm gonna live all 7. Lance is done. He can't recover. I can.
So I think I'm gonna try to have a tank off with Lance's 30k ES character. And I think he's going to try to live all 7 Arbiter Meteors. And I was initially just accepting that he was going to win that contest. And then I started thinking about it. I'm like, no, I can win that too. I want everything. I don't want to make concessions. I want to win everything. So yeah, this is a very tanky character. I'm rank 2 right now on Path of Building EHP, which is a kind of bullshit stat. You shouldn't really put any value in that. But I would say it's reflected in game, and currently Path of Building does not calculate deflection, which for me is giving me 75% more effective health, and that's not being calculated in. So, yeah, I'll go over how I'm doing that now. So, I'm an Amazon. Not a Deadeye, despite playing Lightning Arrow, but I'm an Amazon. Why am I an Amazon? Well, because stalking Panther is really OP. That's the main reason. This is the main node. This is the second node. The rest kind of doesn't matter, but this is the main reason. So evasion's really good. They buffed it this patch because now they made it work on all damage. So you get a lower percentage, but it's still possible to get stupidly high numbers. So just changing the percentage to take more rating doesn't really matter for Amazon. You get so much. But making it work on all damage is insanely strong. So this was a huge buff for Amazon. And for characters that only run like 20 to 25k evasion, it's probably a net nerf based on the formulas. But for characters like this that were over 95 evasion before, aka capped, this is now significantly better than 0.2. The setup I'm doing is using Stalking Panther with a pure evasion, gloves, boots, and helmet. And then a pure energy shield chest. Now, a lot of people run hybrid, and I would say hybrid evasion and energy shield is probably just like the best overall defensive archetype right now. You can do some things with CI, you can do some things with armor on the extreme end, but hybrid evasion and energy shield is really strong. However, this league they changed a lot of the mod weight or a lot of the mod values on hybrid gear. So now hybrid gear, I don't even think beats pure gear in terms of hybrid total. Like I think you can't beat this even without Stalking Panther by doing 4 hybrid pieces. I think the net evasion energy shield you get from doing 3 pure and 1 ES chest is actually higher than hybrid gear. I think they rebalanced that. Like Crip talked about this in his video, because they think like you can get both of the defensive suffixes now. Like you can get armor applies to LE and deflection on a hybrid piece, so therefore it's stronger. When the reality is no one's doing that. So with the different weightings now, it's kind of superior to just go like pure all the way and just mix it up. But like stalking panther is insane because it does not say that your body armor defenses are cut in half. It just says evasion. So there's no penalty for doing pure energy shield. Furthermore, this patch, they've added a lot of modifiers that give you percent defenses from just chest, which you would think, well, that's strictly worse than just percent energy shield, right? And for most cases, it is. But the thing is, if you're only getting energy shield from one piece, which, by the way, I am. This is my only... I'm not even, like, taking, like... I have 3 ES nodes, technically, because I just changed the tree. But before, I wasn't even going up here. But I'm just basically in the, like, pure dex area. I have one single item, and it's 4,000 energy shield. It's because they've added a lot of this new mod. So, like, on the diamond jewel here, you can get 60% energy shield from body armor. You can also get up to 60% on amulet. They've changed Aegis over here, which is 60% for body armor as well. There's all these different sources of just percent ES from only body armor, which makes it pretty easy to get a huge number of energy shield from just an ES chest. And by the way, like, this anoint costs 7 exalts. It's one of the cheapest anoints in the entire game, especially for how good it is for this setup. But okay, back to Stalking Panther. So I'm getting double the amount from the only 3 sources I have evasion on. Well, you might think this makes me twice as tanky. This makes me 4.54 times as tanky. Because it's doubling my evasion rating, which is taking me from what would be... I did the math on this earlier, but I have 85 or 86 evasion, where without Stalking Panther, I would have like 71 or something. It's 75% more EHP just from evasion. It then also doubles the evasion amount, which is the base for your deflection rating. So your deflection rating is also higher. So you go from basically 70 evade, 70 deflect, all the way up to like 85 evade, 85 deflect. I'm also scaling deflect amount, so it's not a 40% damage reduction. It's actually about a 50% damage reduction. And then lastly, the most OP thing is by far Ghost Dance, which restores my entire energy shield every time I get hit. And it has a 1.88 second cooldown because it triggers every 2.9 seconds. And then it has less duration tied to it, which does work to make it so I get a stack every 1.88 seconds. This is the large reason why I was able to AFK Simulacrum before. So how much do I actually have on this character? I have 53k evasion and 50k deflection, so 85, 84. The deflection is 49% for the raw amount, which ends up being like a 42.5% damage reduction. So like I said, about 75% more EHP. Deflection's a really OP stat, but it kind of requires a bit of investment to get good. If you put almost no effort into getting deflection, it's not even really a good stat at all. But if you're starting with a base of over 50k energy shield, just from 3 items, and you have invest a little bit on the tree, I have 11 talent points in it. 3 here, 5 here, and 3 here. Since the game doesn't really have one-shots, it's 74% more EHP. And even then, my chance of not evading an attack and not deflecting it is 2%. So this character doesn't really die. I've been moving up the ladder, kind of passing people who are dying. I've died twice, like, on merit in the last 13 days. And both of those times were to me deliberately trying to die. To, like, say, hey, can I stand in the middle of 100 Abyss mods on a map with all these modifiers with a Kosis on me while on my Roa? Let's find out. And then, like, sometimes I lose those. So I've had 2 deaths in 13 days on, like, pure merit. But that's trying to kill my character as hard as I can. And most of the time I fail miserably. The other reason that Amazon is really good is critical strike here. I'll kind of speedrun this explanation because I've done this in other videos, but I'm going to explain a little more why this is good defensively. Because my character right now, if I put on a mirror bow, actually loses damage. This node is giving me 6 flat crit, because I'm getting, with Ulamon's Gaze, a lot of accuracy, flat accuracy from just helmet. And since I'm already stacking evasion on helmet anyways, this is great. So it ends up giving me, I have like 6k plus accuracy just from this pretty much, which is 6% flat crit. Which on widowhail, it's bad because it only has 5 flat crit, but 5 here, 6 here, and 1 here. I end up getting like 50 to 60% crit, and then I have like 600 crit multi because I'm multiplying a pretty good quiver. These are fairly deterministic to craft this league. Kind of the broken tech on, this is actually one of the reasons the build gets so tanky, is because of the quiver. That might sound counterintuitive, but this quiver has over 600% damage. You might be confused by that because you're looking at it, you're like, no it doesn't, Connor has 87. Well, it's getting multiplied by all my quiver effect on the tree and my widowhail itself. So obviously that number gets multiplied by like 4.5. But the proj speed gives damage, right? Because of feathered fletching. But when you have several 100% proj speed, I have plus 300% proj speed. So on my actual node, on my actual damage skills, I'm taking faster proj, which does work and stacks additively with feathered fletching. So every 1% of proj speed I get is actually 2% damage. So because of that, my quiver alone is giving me over 600% damage. The reason that's important for making me tanky is because most of the talent tree in this game is just vanilla, bland 10% damage nodes. Just 10% damage, 10% damage, 10% damage, 10% damage, 10% damage, 10% damage, 12% damage, 12% damage, plus 5 main stat, Paragon 5000. It's a very boring passive tree, right? But the only thing else you can get, since you can't get life, and you can get some energy shield, but I don't go to that area really, is you can get a decent amount of actual, like, evasion. And so, like I said, I'm putting 11 passive points into deflection. I would wager most right side builds aren't putting 11 points into deflection, but these like 12% damage nodes give me like 0.9% damage because I have so much percent from the quiver. So it doesn't really feel bad dropping like 12% damage to get a 43% damage reduction from deflection. So the widowhail giving just giga percent damage makes the opportunity cost of grabbing some defense on the tree very low. And then basically the only damage points I'm putting into the tree are things that are more damage. Like this is giving me 30 attack speed. That's more damage. This is all crit stuff. That's more damage. I'm going to upgrade this later to a gain as Ellie, because that's 28% more damage. This is 15 more damage. More crit, that's more damage. Shock effect, that's more damage. So I'm pretty much only taking more damage, and I'm not investing into percent damage. And that makes me get to pretty high damage levels still. Because I can still kill, like, Uber 4 pinnacle bosses in 0.1 seconds. Not because my setup is particularly, like, elite at damage. It's just because Lightning Arrow, Lightning Rod is that broken this league. So, LA plus Rod just does damage. It does. I got to the point, like, 5 days ago where I could kill, like, whatever, 16 mil HP pinnacle boss on the hardest difficulty with just one barrage. Just drop 5 shots of Rod, press barrage, use Lightning Arrow, boss dies in 0.1. So beyond that, I mean, I've still scaled another like 20 or 30% damage, but it almost feels wasted at that point. When you can already like one-shot pinnacles on their hardest difficulty, it feels a little wasted to get more damage. So my clear is feeling pretty good. Actually, my clear is probably the last thing that I'm going to upgrade because I'm missing a lot of just like the raw speed things. I'm missing some move speed on boots because I'm poor. I'm missing a golden charm that gives me move speed because I'm poor. I'm missing a headhunter because I'm poor. I will be getting all these things in the following days, and that will make my character like 35% extra move speed, as well as headhunter buffs. So my character will be getting a lot faster just from getting some of the expensive items. I've kind of focused on like offense defense first, so I'm still missing some of the final like expensive speed touches, because naturally those are the most expensive things. But now that I'm just going to focus on those things, it should be pretty fast to farm them out and get those speed upgrades. The last thing I'm going to show you before I show you the Citadel demo is, you might think like, oh, this is giga expensive to set up, right? Like, this is one of those Connor builds that you need 10 mirrors for. Well, I'm flattered that you think I'm that good at making money. But my total character value right now is high. It's probably between 350 and 400 divines, so it's like 0.6 mirrors. That is expensive to a lot of players. However, it does not take that much to get this setup going. Let me just show you here a refresher, because the tech of doing this is literally just take Stalking Panther, put on an ES chest, put on 3 evasion pieces, take these 11 deflect points, and then turn on Ghost Shroud. That's the tech. That's it, okay? Because I'm going to show you this video just for 5 seconds here. The patch came out on August 29th, okay? At 3 in the afternoon for me. This video was put up the 31st, okay? The Kaltarak tourist video making fun of all us PoE 1 tourists for being still in the campaign and he's deep into red maps. That video was uploaded on September 1st. This is 2 days into the league, and I am the slowest campaign runner in the game. You watching this video right now, you are a faster campaign runner than me, okay? I'm not a speed demon. I took 15 hours and 51 minutes to do the campaign this league. If I am here after 2 days, this is not high budget. This character was in tier 15 maps, doing Abyss overrun maps, and just standing in the middle of everything. I would just Leroy Jenkins into 100 monsters and just stand there with all of them hitting me. I only have 1200 energy shield right now because this is like giga low budget. And I am tanky enough to do this comfortably. Like, this is not a high damage setup. Like, this was 2 days in. That is 2 days into the league. I think I have 78 evasion and 73 deflection here with 1200 energy shield. Just because of how good this combo is. So no, this is not like some Giga Mirror Connor build. This is like a pretty cheap combo to make you very tanky. But lastly, I'll show up a hard map. You can do harder maps. I have like, I don't even know what I have on this. I just corrupted a bunch of 6 mods, and then this one turned 16, and none of them turned 8 mods, so I'm just going to do this one. But this is a fully mod Citadel, which to be fair is not that hard, right? Like, the game doesn't have a lot of hard content right now. Like I was saying at the start, the only way to really, like, make hard content in this game is to deliberately do cheesy stuff. And make your build, like, or make your maps have, like, Union of Souls with, like, 150% delirium. That's, like, the only real, or, the Abyss mod for, like, monsters get harder for every pit that's been closed. If you do that in an Abyss overrun map, it can get a little challenging numerically, but it's still kind of a far cry from, like, the harder things that are in PoE. But I would say that content's probably harder than Sim 4, even though it's not, like, proportionally rewarding. The Abyss mod's proportionally rewarding. But the only real way to get, like, more damage than this, here, I'll do it respectfully. I'll actually switch rod. The way to do it like, I don't know. This guy's gonna die really fast. So, like I said, I do have damage. There are builds with more damage than me, for sure. But the way I view it is if I can kill the hardest bosses in, like, 0.1 seconds, then why do I need more damage? Just to, like, flex, I guess. I didn't see how much that was. Let me check the replay. He has, like, 10 million HP, maybe? But, like, my full combo does, like, 22 mil right now. That was only 7.4, yeah. My full combo does, like, 22 mil, so, like, I can... Maybe Arbiter barely lives, but the barrage is enough to basically kill Ubers instantly. So I don't feel like I need much more damage right now. The only thing I feel lacking in speed, and my next upgrades are Headhunter, Golden Charm, and faster move speed boots. And maybe there's a jewel swap I could do for 6% move speed. So basically all the remaining upgrades on the character are just speed, 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 speed. I think I've capped on damage and defense. But that's the character. It is very strong. If you have a stronger build, I would love to see it, because I like these kind of things. I'm not trying to be toxic. I like to compete in this stuff. I'm going to try to do a tank off with Carnarius and Lance to see which is the superior defense. I'm going to play the evasion character. I'm going to try to get Carnarius to play the armor character, because he is a really, like, giga armor character right now. And then Lance is going to have, like, a 30k plus ES CI character. And we're going to maybe see, like, which is the, like, superior defense. But I like to compete on stuff like this. So don't take it as toxic. Or do, I don't really care. But that's it. This is kind of the last real update to the build. I might do one more video when I get all the speed upgrades just to show the top speed. But enjoy the rest of point 3. I know a lot of people don't reroll because the campaign's long, but if you do reroll and want one last build, if you want some tankiness while still being an LA build, maybe try out Amazon. I'll see you next time.